calm down, sir. I'm going, it is not in your remit to tell me to calm down. They think that motherhood gives them the right to speak 15 times louder than anyone else. No toffees before midday! And it's like, shut the up!
Are you sure you're not in the Taliban? Because they're not too keen on letting women speak either.
Grumpy as we ever are, we shall kick off with the Prince of Grump, Mike. You don't like the clocks going back?
Well, I don't actually
or just
mind
changing.
I don't mind them going back as much as I don't like them going forwards. I just don't like them changing at all, really.
I just can't work this out. I feel like I need a master's in electrical engineering to change this clock. Oh, I'm not even attempting this car radio. We'll just have to wait 6 months.
You don't need a clock
No,
on an oven.
but do you know what? Every single time you have to change the clock on the oven, you've forgotten how to do it.
I can't do it.
I
can't
got home on Sunday from Sussex, back to London, thought, I'll just change this. And I was having a chat on the phone with somebody. So I was sort of absent-mindedly doing it. And I accidentally locked it.
Yeah,
And it went safe. And I went, what's that? And I was already cooking some shepherd's pie.
Then it
I wanted
won't
to put it
work.
in the oven. And it wouldn't do anything. And I'm going, and I had to get off the phone. I was like, I can't talk to you. I've got to sort this out. And I wasn't happy until I'd managed to finally sort it out, which I managed to do. But it is ludicrous.
Next week on Grumpy Old Man, unnecessary clocks. Regular listeners and viewers will know we have an update for you. Kev?
It's John Lewis and my laptop. I bought that.
I didn't know this was still going on.
No, this is
We had
chapter
it last
14. Yeah, we had it last week when you weren't here. So I was a bit sort of slow about getting it into John Lewis. I finally took it in about 3 weeks ago. Sat there for about an hour and a half waiting to see someone. I went on a Saturday, as you recall, and the guy said it would be an hour before someone could see me. So I gave that up. Went the following Friday, got it all done within about an hour. It took bloody ages. They finally said, oh, yeah, it's not charging. Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's what you told them.
That's why I brought it in.
There's a couple of customer service people who had to hyperventilate into a paper bag. But yes.
You might have missed this bit, Mike, when they said to me, well, in order to fix it, you have to disable the Find Me function. I said, well, what's that? I said, well, it's a Find Me function in there. I said, well, I don't even know it's in there. Well, you better check and just disable that. I said, well, in case you hadn't noticed, it won't charge up, and therefore I can't turn it on. And they went, all right, we'll leave it with us. Anyway, so so they'd had it for about a week, and I thought, well, you know, at least they'll finally fix it on the warranty, you know. And they phoned me up last Thursday, and they go, yeah, we've checked it out. What it is, it's got water damage, and that's outside the warranty, but we can fix it. Okay, well, I was a bit off, obviously.
Yeah.
What do you mean warranty? You know, all right then, how much is it going to cost to fix it? £722. My second word of my reply was off.
Right.
I had a massive row with this guy. This guy is saying to me, calm down, sir. I'm going, it is not in your remit to tell me to calm down. You know, you just told me 722 quid to fix this laptop, and I'm not going to leave it with you.
I think the question on everyone's lips is, did they specify what kind of fluid it was?
Well, no, they just said it's water damage.
How has it got water damage?
Hand on heart, I never water damaged it, so I'm very upset about this.
Was it wine?
You think
Kev,
Chasbo
was
peed
it
on
wine?
Did Chasbo pee on it?
No, could have done while I wasn't looking.
You weren't looking.
But anyway,
They're not getting up to feed me. I'll just piss on his computer.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, anyway, they returned. It was returned by truck today to my house.
Super.
And next week I'll give you chapter 14, 15.
OK, so we still don't know whether it's working.
No, it's not. No, we do. It's not working.
OK.
Oh, so they didn't fix it?
No, they didn't fix it because I wasn't going to.
Can I just ask one question? Because this all started, did it not, with the laptop that you couldn't put the letter X?
The X,
right?
yeah, which is the one I'm using.
Is that so? You're now using that
I've
one?
been using the X-less.
So
laptop.
obviously you can't write sex or
No,
accept.
no, I can't.
Or any words with X in them.
No, exactly. It's
Excellent.
difficult.
You can't say excellent either.
Well,
My darling ex-wife.
yeah.
there's a method you can use to get the X's in. You have to come up with words like extraordinary. And then
I've got to be honest, Kev, with
take...
what you've gone through since June, I can't help feeling that, like, your method to find an X might have been easier.
Probably.
Well, that's what I've reverted to.
Now, we're moving on to a personal bête noire of mine. As a restaurateur in my day job, delivery food and the substandard nature with which it arrives.
Yeah.
So us hospitality people, we create lovely food, but the wider public don't seem to be bothered to come into the restaurant anymore to eat it. So they want to sit at home, go on an app that ends in ooh, and have a substandard version of what we cook in the restaurant delivered to your house.
Do you know
and
what
you
I've just
all
worked
seem happy to do it.
I've just worked out that there's two companies here. One ends with an oo, and the other one starts with an oo.
Yes.
I just thought I'd mention that. Sorry, apropos of nothing. Ooh.
Okay. Well, look, we've got a clip here. Have a look at this.
Well, here we are. I'm here to pick up my first order from this restaurant, Smashing Plates. Let's see how it goes. I've come to pick up my delivery.
Yes, your delivery is here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll always remember you. You've got a starring role in my brand new career. Oh, God. Let's go. Right, well here I am, nearing completion of my first ever Uber Eats delivery. Hello, Uber Eats. I've been Kevin O'Sullivan, he's been my satisfied customer. Happy days, I'm leaving talkTV and I'm signing up for Uber Eats. Much better job than I've got.
Well, whether it begins with an oo or ends with an oo, it's not for me.
No.
It's not for me. And if you noticed that particular delivery driver who was uncannily pleasant.
Yes.
Right? Did you see how he put the rucksack on his back? Now, whatever was in that would have got tossed around and ruined
And I mean, I don't use
destroyed.
these people very much, but I have on occasion. And if they come from the north side of the river, they can sometimes come through the Rotherhithe Tunnel or come over Tower Bridge, which is the long way round. And much to my horror one night, because I think most of the mistake you made there, you didn't have an electric bike. Because the electric bikes
I
are
didn't
quick.
have one, though.
This guy came on a pedal bike like Kevin, and it took him about an hour. And I'm watching him, and he was going really slowly because, you can track it. And I'm thinking, what is he walking? And it turned out when he did get there, not only was it all bashed around, but it was cold. It was a curry, basically.
The two things I lament are the demise of the old-fashioned takeaway, where you phoned your favourite restaurant and a guy came around on a motorbike or a car and it was always good.
Yeah.
Or you just went and picked it up.
Or you went and picked it up,
Yeah. And the other thing is that these delivery, you might think you're getting food from your favourite restaurant, but actually it's been cooked in some warehouse under the name of your favourite.
A dark kitchen?
Yeah, that's why the food's crap.
Yeah, we've got these, there's a lot of them involved in that.
I just, it's the whole thing is it doesn't help restaurants. Now, we all like going to restaurants.
We
right?
do.
We enjoy going
I
to
love
restaurants.
going to
restaurants.
And, it should be a special thing to have that kind of food. And I don't know, learn to cook so you don't have to have that.
Yeah.
Why do people
That
get...
rubbish.
But some people now are so used to it that they order food all the time.
Yeah,
They order
delivery breakfast.
I see them getting breakfast.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm coming home at 10 o'clock in the morning. There's a guy from Uber Eats going down the road delivering McDonald's bags.
We've got about 3 houses that regularly get breakfast.
We had one of the companies that we use with the business to deliver food, and he was telling me during lockdown there was a family in the Knightsbridge area of London who were spending £2,500 a day on delivery.
What?
During lockdown.
How many in the family? Like 100?
I don't know whether they were feeding 50 or 60 of them, but there was £2,500 a day's worth of food was being delivered of a substandard nature in a box, sweaty and horrible, to their probably palatial home. But it does spell the end of restaurants.
No, but as Mike says,
the idea that you've got these dark kitchens, which are a sort of, as you say, a poor
they're not the
impression.
restaurant of the kitchen.
No,
the kitchen of the restaurant.
doing a poor impression of the brand that you think you're
Right.
engaging.
It's also, I think, bad for. I don't want to sound like a grumpy old man here, but I mean, it is
Heavens
part of the
that would
MO
happen on
of
this show.
Of this show. But, I think it's bad for society because it encourages people not to go out, encourages them to eat more than they really want.
On their
because
own.
everything's literally at the end of a phone. You just tap in whatever it is you want, they bring it to you. You don't have to go down the stairs, you don't have to walk anywhere. There's no kind of, there's no
when
interaction.
we were young men, if you were having a takeaway, you went to your local Chinese takeaway.
Yeah.
You had a sometimes confusing and or entertaining interaction with the person behind the counter.
Yeah.
You invariably got the wrong food.
Yeah.
It got delivered back, but back then we didn't
matter.
know. Didn't matter. We could have prawn balls. We could have something else. We wouldn't
really know what was in the balls.
We didn't know what was in the balls.
Who the hell needs delivery breakfast?
I know.
It's ridiculous.
Nobody.
Well, moving on, we're back on our lovely roads again with Mike.
Yes. Well, as you know, I spend a fair bit of time driving backwards and forwards to Sussex.
Because he has a very luxurious car.
I do have a nice car. I don't mind saying that. I don't have much fun driving it in London these days because, the roads are always
Nobody has
screwed up.
any fun driving in London.
Before you get into this, is this what you're like?
It's that you smashed my bloody thing. Why don't you see where you're going?
Why don't you go in the right lane? I'm on the left.
In the right place.
You're in the right-hand lane trying to go straight on.
Don't smash car up, you idiot. It's that
You nearly run me over, you
run you over, you about doing like that, idiot.
Mike sounds very different when he's not at work.
Yes. Well, you also have to put on an accent as well, because that way people can't tell the police who you were.
Yes.
Just
I like the woman just trying to stop the fight happening. That's
yeah.
Camden Morrison's.
That's
I can
amazing.
recognise that. Had a few rows there myself.
Yeah.
Actually.
I mean, to
How
be honest,
surprising.
it might come as a surprise to you. I don't really have road rage. I'm very calm, actually, when I'm in a car. A lot of people get road
I'm
rage.
not.
And well, you're not very calm anywhere. But one of the things that does annoy me, I got stuck when I was coming back up at the weekend. There's two portions of the A21 around Tunbridge Wells. One of them has had a permanent 2 lanes down to 1 lane for literally most of this year, if not longer. But every single time, if there's a little bit more traffic than normal, there are people in the 1 lane on the left, which is staying open, going slowly, and then there's this continual stream of people, I call them, who come down in the lane that's about to be closed, right? And they know the lane's about to be closed, but they just don't want to pull in because they think they can seek to get some kind of advantage. And it really irritates me because they're going all the way to the front of the queue. And then they're letting people come in, right? Are you telling me that you're one of these people?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Why would I queue up?
Yeah,
I can go to the front.
I mean, that would be me.
I mean, I take.
If I'm let in, I give
take
them
a sort of
a
middle-
very respectful flash of my hazard lights.
I
take
take a sort of a middle of the road, if you'll pardon the expression, go here, because what I'll do is I'll do that for a bit, but then I'll come in long before the end. But I'm talking about the people who go all the way to the end.
Every time you take the polite option, though, you regret it, and you think you wish you'd jumped.
No, I don't mind taking the polite option. But here's the thing that will surprise you, perhaps. The thing that annoys me even more than those people are the occasional nutters who decide that they're going to block this from happening. So they put their car halfway across both lanes so that nobody can get past them.
Bastards.
And that causes a real problem because that drives people insane.
My road rage is volcanic to the extent
I'm not surprised.
Quite regularly, Henrietta, my wife, bursts into
is
tears.
anyone-
She does. She bursts into tears.
You probably just not want to get in the car with you.
I'm at war with every
He
other
once
driver.
came down, right, and insisted on coming a way that was the long way round. And I said to him, what are you going that way for? He said, this is where I always go, to Sussex. I'm like, yeah, but you're not going to the part of Sussex you're
I have
going
a
to.
slight,
You're
I have
right,
a
you
slight-
were right.
I think I have a slight psychiatric issue,
Yes.
which is because I drive into London every day.
Yeah.
And when I drive in, I'm very calm.
Yeah.
And if somebody does something stupid, I kind of like in my head like,
Yeah. I'm like that, you see.
Burke,
Yeah.
right? Like that. The minute somebody's sitting in the car with me,
Yeah.
I say it
That's
out loud.
interesting.
Yeah.
Why is that? That's so bizarre. I've noticed this a lot recently. Like,
But do you not say it out loud even if there's nobody in the car?
no,
Yeah, I do.
Really? Because I do.
I don't say it
I
out
do.
loud if nobody's
Yeah.
in the car. I just kind of, because I've kind of, I'm in the car for an hour and a half every day each way. I've just decided I'm not going to, I mean,
Right.
obviously I'll go.
Because I'm one of
I'll go
those
to the
where
front
I'll
of the
see,
queue
you know, when
if I
you
wanna
come
get
to
somewhere.
You
but-
come to a roundabout and there's a guy coming that way and he decides suddenly to turn right, but he doesn't indicate. So you don't know he's going to do that. So if you're not really paying attention, you could smash into him. And I'll always say to myself in the car, but out loud, yeah, that's okay. You go ahead and do that because I'm a mind reader and I know exactly which way you're going.
Well, no, I think people who don't know how to go around roundabouts might be educationally subnormal.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
Or foreign.
Well,
They don't really do roundabouts.
Same
do they?
thing.
Yeah.
So we are policing the roads here, but I have a bugbear against yet another implementation by the fun police, which is calorie counts on menus. Why do we need that? Why do we need that? Because if I am going somewhere to buy something that I want, I don't want somebody to stamp a conscience on it. I mean, look, some of the stuff is ridiculous. It's like the Starbucks pumpkin latte.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah. I mean, anybody.
It's about 500 calories. If you're trying to follow a calorie-controlled diet, that one drink is a third of all your food for the day.
You could probably have guessed that from the name, couldn't you?
Yes. Yes.
I'll tell you why I like calorie counts on menus.
You like it?
Yeah, no, I really like it because it gives me the opportunity every single time to find the dish with the highest calorie count and always order that.
Yeah, because that's what I'm there to have.
That's what I do.
I agree with Kev. I'm there to have a good time.
Right.
Sorry, did I just say I agree with Kev out
You
there?
did say that. You did say that out loud, yeah.
But
first time
it's on
ever.
record.
Sorry.
It's on record.
We can cut that out later. But it is that thing of... So there is a well-known pasta chain, Prezzo.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Prezzo.
I always say prezzo.
Prezzo.
I didn't realise I was getting it wrong.
It's Italian.
Yeah.
Prezzo. Sounds better.
But they doesn't make it any better. But they're
It's where I used to
their
take my
carbonara.
kids.
Their carbonara, 1,000 calories.
Yeah, well, it's a very calorie
which
package.
would make you go, oh, I don't want that. That's what carbonara
also,
is.
It doesn't make me not want it. It makes me want to have it.
This was brought in, wasn't it, by a Tory government?
Mm-hmm.
But I thought they'd done away with it. But of course, by that time, all the restaurants had printed their menus.
Well, the other thing is the kind of scale on which they said you had to have it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really based on whether your menu was bad for people. It was based on whether you had more than 250 employees or more than 25 outlets.
Right.
What's that got to do
with calories?
With calories.
Right.
And the whole thing about it is like if you are overeating, you know you are.
Yeah.
And there's no amount of going and walking into a Starbucks thinking, I'm not going to have my breakfast muffin.
Yes.
Because I'm worried about the calorie content.
Yeah.
It's like I am having a terrible morning. I feel miserable. I'm going to have a pumpkin spice latte, a breakfast muffin, and then probably type 2 diabetes.
Yes. Go straight to hospital.
And then a heart attack.
Yeah.
So don't bother. You're insulting our intelligence, as ever.
Yeah.
And stop interfering with people's fun with this.
Yeah, because no matter how much you don't want to look at it, you do.
Yeah.
If it's there, you look at it. And I've often thought to myself, is this actually now going to influence what I'm going to eat?
Well.
And I'm not like you. I don't immediately go and eat the heaviest calorie dish that they have. But it does subconsciously make you think about it, doesn't it?
But is that what they're trying to do? Because it doesn't make me think about it like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have that. Yeah. It is like Keir says, it's like makes you think, well, sod that, I'm going to have it.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at a news story related to this.
Serving up a curry with a side dish of caution, as large restaurant chains are forced to put calories on the menu for the first time.
What do you make of there being calories on the menu?
I like the idea. You want to know, you might make a better choice by not ordering that extra side of, garlic bread.
Today's change is part of a wider anti-obesity strategy. Almost 2/3 of adults in England are overweight or living with obesity.
The garlic bread's the fun bit. Yeah. Have it.
Yeah.
Add the garlic bread.
By the way, what kind of a curry joint was that? A ketchup on the table?
Well, no.
Do you have ketchup with curry?
No. But also what was disturbing, it appeared like that curry joint had a weighing scale under the table.
Yes.
As well.
I think that was very strange. That would be a bit off-putting, wouldn't it? Yeah. So you weigh yourself when you come in, and weigh yourself when you go out.
Yeah. Exactly. That would be the way to do it. Don't put the calorie counts. If for those who are concerned, put some weighing scales in the restaurants.
There you go. I mean, that's quite a funny gimmick, actually. I mean, you could put that at the front of the restaurant and just go, weigh yourself as you come in.
With a big sign saying, how did you do, fatty?
In fact, you could even...
Fatso's corner, where the fat people
You could actually charge people, depending on how much weight they put on, while they were in the restaurant. So you could go, look, if you put on...
The all-you-can-eat buffet weight.
If you've had £3 added to your body weight, I'm afraid that's going to cost you 30 quid.
You've obviously managed to get more on your plate than other people
Your girlfriend over here, on the other hand, has put on no weight at all, so she can go for free.
Yes, and go on a date with me. And
yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Now, we're going to Kev now, and I'm going to let you introduce this yourself, Kev, because I'm not getting involved in this.
Well, this is... I've headlined this, but there are other elements to it. The headline is Women Who Drone On About Motherhood Like It Gives Them Some Sort of Moral Superiority. Meghan Markle is the worst. She starts every statement with, as a mother, I'm very concerned about the... You know, and it doesn't give them a moral superiority, but they think it is. They think that everything they say is more important than everything anybody else says because they can preface it with, as a mother. And here's another thing I don't like about mothers. Have you noticed that when you're on a train or...
Save this for Mother's Day. They get a day as well.
Bloody mothers, they're the scourge of the earth. They really are. No, have you noticed when there's a mum with like 2 or 3 kids, you're in a restaurant or cafe or on a train or something, again, they think that motherhood gives them the right to speak 15 times louder than anyone else. So it's like, Johnny, don't do that. And they're like there and you're there. No, I've told you before, no toffees before midday. And it's like, shut the f*** up, will you? Just because you're a mother, it doesn't give you the right to make everyone else's life a misery. And by the way, when you preface your sentences with as a mother, loads of us immediately tune out and think that what you're going to say will inevitably be utter.
Are you sure you're not in the Taliban? Because they're not too keen on letting women speak either. You know, for heaven's sake, keep your voice down.
See, the Taliban get a bad press, but...
There was that fantastic thing that Chris Rock did when he was talking about, you know, women appearing on, like, Jerry Springer and that sort of thing, and sort of saying, I look after my children. I do this, I do that. And he just pauses and goes, you're supposed to.
I ain't never been
they're your children.
I ain't never been to jail. You're not supposed to go to jail.
But Kamala Harris, who doesn't have any kids, spends all of her time talking about her own mother, who raised her in a middle-class household, and her and her sister had such a great childhood, and they learned all about America, and she never stops talking about childhood and motherhood without actually being one.
And she gave this speech as we were recording this last night. It was her final address to the American people in a big...
I wish it was the final
And I was watching it, and you know, she comes out with this sort of word soup nonsense. So she actually said this. She said, when my mother was sick, I fed her with the food that was to her taste. And I was thinking, what a weird thing to say.
Well, that's all right, then.
As opposed to when my mother was sick, I deliberately gave her food that she hates. Do you know what I mean? That woman just talks utter garbage.
Well,
it is.
Doesn't she go down in the polls every time she opens her mouth?
She
well,
does.
I mean, she had a peak period when she was introduced as the greatest thing since sliced bread. But ever since she has been opening her mouth, it's just gone one way. Not quite as badly as Keir Starmer's graph of death, you know, but basically, I don't think it's going well.
Well, I stand in full support of all mothers. And Kev, you're on your own with that one, but that's all for this week.
You had to say that.
I do, because I live with somebody's mother. My son's mother.
I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's your son, just for...
Yeah, it is my son. It is my son, and I look after him.
Only part of the time.
Well, only part of the time, because I come here and do this kind of stuff with you.
You've missed the trick, but his mother looks after him most of the time.
All right, fine. That's enough about mothers. That's enough about all of that. That's all for this week. Thank you very much. Goodbye.